Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the FSDC's webinar about career opportunities in the insurance industry. This webinar is brought to you under the FSDC's Practitioner Speakers Series, which is part of our Talent Amplifier program, aimed at providing support to students and young talents who are looking to start their career in the financial services industry. So today we're talking about insurance, and we're extremely pleased to have two CEOs who are both FSDC members to join us to share with you about their career stories. So we have Ms. Winnie Wong, who's CEO of Asia Insurance and Evo Insurance. Winnie is also a board member of the FSDC and also convener for the New Business Committee. And we also have Ms. Sally Wen. Sally is the CEO of AXA Hong Kong and Macau, and she's also a member of the FSDC's Market Development Committee. So today we're going to do the webinar in two parts. In the first, I will go through a list of questions that I have prepared, which I really want to hear from our speakers. And in the second part, we are going to do a Q&A. So I encourage you to type in any of your questions that you may have in the Q&A text box, and we will get to the questions towards the end of the webinar. So without further ado, I would like to start by inviting our speakers to share a bit more about their careers, how it started, and how you got into the insurance industry, and your path since then. So maybe Winnie would like to start first.
Yeah, thank you, Faye, and good morning for all those participants. Thanks for joining us. I'm Winnie. I started actually as a group management trainee of the SWI Pacific Group. I think similar to all of you right now. At that time, I was wondering what industry I should enter into. Coincidentally, I got the opportunity of getting into the SWI group, and at the I think about the 7th round of the interviews, they invited all the division managing directors to present to us about their industry. So I was hugely impressed by the presentation done by the insurance managing director at that time, who said two things. One, he said, everyone and every industry can be our client. And whenever there is a risk, there's a need for insurance. And the second thing that he mentioned was insurance is a very professional industry with professional exams and qualifications. As a fresh graduate, I think we were not afraid of entering into these exams, but then we would like to have the certainty of having the career progression with these exams and qualifications obtained. So that was the two reasons why I decided to join the insurance industry. And at that time, the SWI Group had some insurance companies and broking firms. But then SWI decided to sell off all the insurance companies back to their joint venture partners. But then I decided to stay with the insurance industry. Mainly because I have taken all the exams. So I think it's good to stay with the insurance industry given the opportunities available in the industry, as well as the career certainty of the industry. It can, ride through all the economic downturns. For our industry, I don't see any major layoff despite the economic downturn in the economic cycles during the past years. So that's why I decided to stay with the insurance industry instead of going back to the SWI Group. And then in about 2003, during the year of the SARS, I decided to move to Aon, an international insurance broking as well as risk management firm. The key reason is I wanted to be closer to my customers. I want to learn and understand more about the customers. So I decided to be a broker, entering a broking and risk management consulting firm. And then about 4 or 5 years ago, I decided to move from Asia to, Aon to Asia, which is a Hong Kong listed and Hong Kong headquartered insurance group with bigger autonomy and exposure in various investment decision opportunities. So right now I'm running 2 insurance companies at the same time. Asia Insurance is the largest local insurer with the longest history in Hong Kong, while at the same time I'm also running Avo. You can see the logo there, Avo, the avocado logo, which is the first virtual general insurer in Hong Kong. And it's also one of the newest startups. So one is the oldest and the other one is the newest, one of the newest in Hong Kong. So it's very interesting that there are ongoing things to learn in our industry, and I can definitely share a bit more.
Yeah, so one small event made a very big change. How about Sally?
Thank you, Faye. Thank you for having me. First of all, good morning, everyone. I'm very happy to be here to share the story. My story is a little bit different from Winnie because I didn't think about insurance since quite a long time after my career. So I started as an accountant in KPMG, graduated from the university, going to the Big Four as a professional accountant, and wanted to continue the career in the professional firms. But soon after a few years, I find out that actually probably I don't want to be a partner in a consulting firm anymore. So I decided to leave. And what so happened is during the time that I was in KPMG, I have 2 types of clients that I work for. One is the banking industry and the other one is insurance industry. During that early years, I also didn't think about picking up insurance, because at that time, like 20-something years ago, banking is still a very prestige industry to be in. So I was thinking about going to banking. But it's a coincidence that I went from accounting to a management consulting role within KPMG, and then I started to serve insurance customers around the region, not just in Hong Kong. So this is the time when I feel this is the wake-up call, like Winnie did very early, that I find that insurance is an industry that not only is sustainable, it's also supporting the society in many different ways, not just providing protections. Insurance industry also invests into different countries, like the investment infrastructure. So actually it's building the society, not just by providing insurance products, but also investing into the infrastructure. So I started to get interested into insurance industry and continue to stay on. So I changed from management consulting as serving insurance customers, and then go into a real insurance in Japan. I moved to Japan for 7 years to join Allianz Japan. Allianz Japan is a German company specializing in general insurance. And then after Japan, I came back to Hong Kong in 2007 and joined AIG. And after the 2008 financial crisis, I helped the AIG to list AIA. So I stayed in the AIG AIA world for another 10 years, 11 years. So I changed from general insurance to life insurance, and I learned even more things about insurance can do. So then I switched to, after the 11 years with AIA having different types of positions, I joined AXA. AXA is a French company, and this is a time like Winnie, I'm managing 2 different companies, like the general insurance and the life insurance. And we found that actually we can provide many different types of protection to the society, for companies, small companies, big companies, for families, for individuals. So it is, to me, it is insurance is a natural fit of share value, if you believe in purpose, to serve the society, at the same time providing business into any market.
Thank you, Sally. I find it interesting that both of you didn't start in the insurance industry, but found your way into it, and are in leadership roles right now, which I think make you a very suitable person to explain a bit more to us about the insurance industry, because whenever we talk about it, it comes to our mind that life insurance is obviously the one closest to our daily life. But I think insurance itself encompasses a very wide range of business. So can Winnie please share with us what are some other business lines under the big category of insurance?
Yeah, sure, Faye. Yes. I think the insurance or reinsurance industry is always the most well-kept secret, as well as the most misunderstood industry. I think it's definitely a very important and meaningful industry because we pay a lot of losses. As Sally mentioned, a lot of natural catastrophe losses and man-made losses that we have paid, and a lot of companies can go bankrupt without without the help from insurance companies. I can give you a number of examples. For example, for the earthquake zones, like in Japan and New Zealand, earthquakes as well as Thai floods some years ago, our industry has paid over 130 billion US dollars each. And for the hurricanes like Katrina, Rita, and Wilma in the US, our industry also paid over 130 billion US dollars. And closer to us, if we look at Hato just about 3 years ago, in Macau, we have paid over 5 billion Hong Kong dollars. So we helped a lot of industries to sustain, a lot of SMEs and even bigger corporations to survive. Otherwise, a lot of them would have gone bankrupt without insurance. And some of the man-made losses, some of you may know that the World Trade Center terrorism attack in the US, and our industry paid over 50 billion US dollars for one single event. And for Lehman Brothers banker bond, I'm sure you saw a lot of the victims outside of the banks. But some of the banks have no victims outside the banks because we have paid, our insurance industry have paid the bankers blanket bond claims to the relevant banks if they have bought the cover with suitable coverage. Then we have paid for mis-selling of the Lehman Brothers bonds. So I think that's something that a lot of people do not know, that we are actually helping a lot of companies, a lot of corporations behind the scene. And if we have paid, then the banks, of course, they can pay the victims as well. And more recent ones, cyber attacks. I'm sure there are a lot of cyber crimes right now, the malware and all that, and some companies suffer from some losses, and we also provide some protection for cyber risks. Similar to terrorism risks, these are very specialized risks and some of the emerging risks that our industry has to cover. And these are also able to help some of the industries to survive in case they got attacked. And in our industry, actually, is a very big industry, but a lot of people, our general public, may not be able to understand there are actually many different parties, many different players within the insurance industry. We are probably more familiar with some of the direct insurance companies, but in fact, just for direct insurance companies, there are general insurance companies as well as life insurance companies. So life insurance companies provide life insurance protections, while general insurance companies provide all sorts of non-life insurance cover. It can be anything. It can be a lot of different things, just like what I just mentioned in terms of natural catastrophes, in terms of bonds, in terms of terrorism risks, in terms of political risks and public liability, and employees compensation and motor, etc. So basically, without insurance, the economy can stop because we cannot go out, we cannot drive, we cannot start a company without employees compensation protection for our employees. You know, a lot of economic activities can stop without insurance. But then behind the insurance companies, there are also different players like reinsurance companies, because insurance companies also have to buy a lot of protection ourselves to protect the portfolio of business that we have. You know, that's why we buy a lot of reinsurance. And among insurance companies, we also have a lot of co-insurance and reinsurance arrangement. And then some of the biggest multinational firms may have their own self-insurance companies, and they are called captives. So there are different kinds of insurance companies, but they may have different names. You know, so that's why the ecosystem is much bigger than the general public is normally aware of. And there are also a lot of intermediaries in the insurance industries. There are agents representing the insurance companies, and there are also brokers representing the clients. So that's why we have some broking firms and agency firms in the insurance industry. And there are also other service providers like loss adjusters when there are loss. I'm sure you have seen some TV programs, describing how loss adjusters work. They are like investigators and all that. So some loss adjusters are also helping insurance companies in assessing the claims and paying the claims. And there are, of course, a lot of lawyers. We employ a lot of lawyers to help us on handling claims, as well as structuring some of the insurance programs, because some of the insurance policies are, tailor-made. A lot of those are actually tailor-made for clients, and they have to be written by lawyers. So we have to hire a lot of lawyers on claims, as well as on constructing the insurance contracts. And we need valuation companies, risk management consulting firms, cat loss modeling firms, rehabilitation companies to help our injured employees to return to work. We also hire crisis management consultants, as well as forensic consultants. So to investigate the claims, to assess the claims. So there are really different kind of service providers within the insurance ecosystem. And I think you will find it really interesting that a lot of these are not known to the general public, but they are all working hard behind the scenes in the insurance industry.
Thank you, Winnie, for a very comprehensive overview of the insurance ecosystem and the various market participants therein. So now let's put all of that into Hong Kong's context. Sally, having served various roles across different global operations, can you tell us a bit more about how Hong Kong is doing as an insurance market itself as compared to other global markets? And what are some of the future opportunities that you see for Hong Kong?
Sure. Thank you, Faye. Actually, before I answer that question, I also want to add to Winnie's introduction, which is very comprehensive. There's also one profession that we hire in the industry behind the scene that is working for us a lot is the doctors and the nurses, because they also have to go into claims, adjust, and giving us professional advice on the products and how to serve the community better. So actually, to echo to Winnie's point, we are an industry. We actually have a lot of professions that can be in the industry. So talking about Hong Kong, I feel that Hong Kong is a very exciting insurance market. The fact that Hong Kong, first of all, is an international financial center, we have attracted many different types of industries and companies into Hong Kong. And therefore, I can share with you some interesting facts. Actually, in Hong Kong, I think we have the highest concentration of authorized insurers in Asia. We have, Winnie, correct me if I'm wrong, I think we have more than 160 insurers in Hong Kong, probably much more than 160. And also, we have the highest insurance density probably in Hong Kong, meaning that the insurance premium per capita globally in 2019, there's a Swiss Re report that shows that. So you can see we have attracted different types of industry and companies in the economies, and that's why we need that many insurers in Hong Kong to provide the services. And to add to the exciting news, actually, Winnie shared a lot of on the reinsurance, general insurance side, on the life market. If you look at the past 10 years, I think our life market has grown quite a fair bit. If I can share with you, one of the reasons is because we are very professional, the product we provide is reliable, and the product we provide has better coverage and better protection. Therefore, we have attracted a lot of customers to come from overseas to come, and mainly is the mainland customers coming to Hong Kong to purchase our insurance. And I can share with you, I think in 2009, the number of policy, percentage of under policy from the mainland Chinese customers is probably around about 5%, less than 10%. And it's grown to the peak of close to 35 to 40% before COVID. So you can see our product offering, our protection, our professionalism actually makes the industry grow as well. So if you look at on a general projection on the macroeconomics, so when we have business going on, when we have small and medium-sized companies continue to grow, when we have big companies continue to grow business, and at the same time, we have the middle class families. You know, we always have more families and families. When all these continue to grow, we will have the needs of insurance is always there, because the company will need it, the business will need it, and the individuals and families will need it for their families, children, and their parents. So if I look at it from an overall perspective, as Winnie said before as well, even during economic downturns, actually without insurance, the society can stop, part of the society can stop, because we do need it to provide the protection for all the matters that we have in terms of how we do it. And recent years, I think the government also has put in quite a lot of beneficial measures for the insurance industry to grow and to help the customers as well. I think those closer to heart will be the tax exemptions and the tax credit for the VHIS and the QDAP in the recent years. And for the companies as well, there's a lot of different types of tax incentive for insurance and the business to work in Hong Kong. So I am very positive about this industry. And if, in fact, if you look at the back and the history, even during economic downturns, I think our insurance company has been sustaining quite well. And all we are here because we are also regulated by the regulators, so that we need to make sure our solvency is good and our financial protection and balance sheet is strong to sustain the business, to protect the business in the future. I hope that creates an understanding on the promising on the insurance industry in the future.
Yeah, I think it definitely does. So Hong Kong's insurance has been on a growing trajectory. And also I think what you have highlighted is that from a personal perspective, if you're working for insurance, when the economy is not in its best shape, you actually sort of hedge your personal well-being against the economic downturn. So I guess up until now, our audience will be interested in learning what's in it for them. So what are some of the actual job opportunities in insurance industry that's out there? So Winnie, can I please invite you to start first?
Yeah, thank you, Faye. For our industry, as Sally and I covered, we actually hire a lot of people in our industry and with different discipline and background. I can outline some of the job roles that we actually have. Of course, we have a lot of underwriting colleagues who are underwriters, underwrite and assess the risks. And we hire a lot of actuaries for both life and non-life insurance companies. And we also hire risk management consultants and risk engineers. This is a very well sought after role. You know, a lot of insurance companies now must have in-house chief risk officer. So risk management experts are also very popular in our industry. And as I mentioned, we also hire a lot of lawyers for claims management, as well as structuring the insurance contracts. And for claims experts are also highly specialized in our industry. And it's very interesting. I always think that our claims colleagues are having very high EQ because they are able to handle the customers when they need us most, when they have claims, when they have losses. So we hire a lot of our claims management colleagues, and some of them have legal background. And of course, on the marketing side, we also hire marketing people. And nowadays, I think a lot of insurance companies are hiring a lot of digital marketing people as well. And on the loss modeling side, we hire some loss modeling experts, as well as some geologists. I think it's hard to believe. Actually, insurance companies or broking firms, they may hire some geologists to help them on cat loss modeling work. So it's highly specialized because insurance companies cover all the risks around the world, and they need to understand the catastrophe loss exposure, and also need to conduct a lot of review and assessment for their clients. So that's why they have to have these kind of cat loss modeling experts as well, working closely with the geologists. And we also have research and R&D, research and development, and also data scientists, data analysts. I think increasingly, apart from actuaries, insurance companies are hiring more data scientists and data analysts. And on the reinsurance side, we have some reinsurance structuring experts as well. And we hire, of course, we have client-facing side. We hire a lot of client-facing, client service experts, a policy administrator behind the scene, as well as compliance officers, compliance, because our industry is a highly regulated industry, very similar to banking. We hire a lot of risk management, as well as compliance colleagues, internal audit as well. And right now with the rise of InsurTech, we hire a lot more programmers than before. Programmers, front end and back end developers, UI UX designers, and content writers, as well as cyber risk experts. This is something that we did not hire that many, but right now we open up a lot more opportunity to these engineering and computer science graduates. By hiring, and I'm sure they find our industry very interesting too, because now a lot of traditional insurance companies are doing the digital transformation, while we also have some virtual insurance companies who hire a lot of these programmers and InsurTech experts. And for some of the traditional insurance, like marine insurance, construction insurance, we also hire some marine experts as well as construction experts. In fact, if we look at the talent list announced by the Hong Kong government, for this, in this talent list, there are 11 occupations, 11 roles that the Hong Kong overall needs most, and also in great shortage. And there are 3 of them among the 7 related to insurance. One is actuaries. We are definitely short of actuaries. And second, we are also short of marine insurance experts, because it's highly specialized. I always joke among our industry friends that in marine experts can never retire. I saw a lot of them retiring 5-6 times and still rehired by another company, because their experience really important and really rare in our industry. So yeah, marine insurance experts, I think traditionally a lot of these people are in the London market, but because our economy in Asia has been growing fast, and a lot of shipping activities in this part of the world, so we are in great shortage of marine insurance experts. Of course, in the meantime, among the top the talent list, we encourage more people to move from overseas to work in Hong Kong. But while at the same time, we also want to develop more homegrown talents in Hong Kong. So marine insurance, if graduates are interested in the marine industry, right now, I think because of the problems with the aviation industry, it's all-time high in terms of the demand for shipping activities, and the shipping business are really booming right now. So likewise, our marine experts are really really hard to retain, and it takes time to develop. So that's why it's also made it to the top talent list. And the third one, also related to insurance, is fintech, including InsurTech people. So all 3 are also related to our insurance industry. So you can see that for our industry, probably because of the fact that we are a well-kept secret, and most people do not fully understand the breadth and the depth of our industry, and did not have a chance to join our industry. So we are in great shortage of talent. And if we understand that there are so many different kind of experts that we hire behind the scene, I think there should be more people, more graduates will be interested in some of the job roles, particularly when we open up some of the new opportunities on the tech side. So I think maybe Sally can supplement on this. We are definitely, when we talk to other CEOs with insurance companies, all of them, the top in their mind is top priority is to hire and retain talent. So for young graduates, I think definitely this is good news.
Totally echo Winnie. I think you call on the very, very good points about all the categories, the marine, the data sciences, the InsurTech. To be honest, I talk to Winnie quite a lot on this as well. Sometimes I need some professional to come to my company. I also ask for help in the industry, and everybody is saying that it's shortage of professions. So I hope that the graduates will really join us. And this is an industry in need of many different types of professions.
Very useful tips. I hope the students are taking notes, and whether you're in finance or risk management, or even geologists, meteorologists, or maybe marine experts, there's probably a right place for you in the insurance industry. So my next question for Sally is that, when choosing a career, I would say financial compensation is definitely a very important consideration. And from statistics, I think, just as any other financial services sector, insurance actually can be quite rewarding financially. But what I'm curious about is that other than financial compensation, what are some other reasons that you would think people should choose insurance to start a career, and how do they contribute to someone's professional and personal growth?
So it's a very good question, Faye, because definitely financial compensation at the start of the career, even when I was graduate, it is number one that I need to consider. And when I grow a little bit older every year, and I find that purpose is also something that we look for. Because not only that you need to tie to the financial package, but at the same time, if you can think about what you need for you as a purpose, and how do you want to connect to the society, I think is also very important. I find that actually in insurance industry, as Winnie mentioned about all sort of professions that we need, actually to me, it's a natural fit to share value to the society, because what we are talking about is to protect all the companies, business, individuals, families. And if you have this purpose at heart, when you join the industry, in every area, you will find that you can be very close to what it needs in the society as a family or as a business. And then you can design products or protections or customer experience or anything in your profession can do to help the industry to grow and also to help the society as a whole. Even if you are investment experts, you can come into an insurance industry to think about all this cash that we receive, how do we invest so that we can deliver the promise we promise to the customers in the future. So there's many things that link to the society is in the insurance industry. So to me, purpose-led is also one of the things that I would consider. For personal development, so it's interesting because I came from a finance background and I went into business development for a period of time. And then I went into distribution transformations for a different period of time, meaning that I need to go in to see how the agency and the local brokers are doing business and I can help how to help them. And then I went into audit again and risk management for a period of time to understand how do we make sure the sales practice is good, how do we make sure we have cybersecurity and digital security and all these securities. So for development, if you have the hearts to do it in the insurance company, I think in every insurance company, you probably can do role rotation in different areas. If you're interested in a more wider range of development for you. So I strongly recommend people to really understand our industry a bit better so that it's not so well-kept secret and can help us to go to talk to other of your friends and colleagues to join us, because it's not just graduates, it can be somebody who is interested to change from other industry to join insurance. I think there's also opportunities.
Thank you very much, Sally. So we're going into more practical questions. So you just mentioned there are jobs for not only just graduates, but also young talents who are looking to for a career transmission. So what are some of the job roles that are in hot demand on the market? And I think we sort of touched this previously. We talked about skill sets that are required. So other than skill sets, what are some of the qualities or personal characteristics that you look for when your companies hire? Maybe I'll start this question with Sally, please.
Sure. One of the hottest, I think a couple of very hot position that we're looking at is data scientists, API technology, fintech technology professions, and also actuaries, because actuaries is in many different roles. It can be pricing, it can be valuations. So these are all the hot, very difficult to get, other than the marine underwriters. Actually, a lot of the underwriters that you are in different profession, we also need. Talking about qualities, I think most importantly is whether you really enjoy the work that you do. So to me, I think the passion that you like your job is the most important. I believe that a lot of the technical skills we can learn, but whether we have the passion, we have the positive energy to go through the difficulties on a day-to-day basis is very important. I think mindset, a very positive mindset, and resilience in nature, which I think a lot of us have, will be very important.
Winnie, do you agree? And do you have things to add?
Yeah, I think I cannot agree more with what Sally just mentioned in terms of passion and really enjoying what we do. In fact, our industry is really helping a lot of corporations, a lot of businesses, as well as individuals when they need us most. So basically, I think this should be a career that is really meaningful, because you are helping a lot of people every day. And I just want to add that probably curiosity and common sense, because we actually hire graduates from a wide range of disciplines. We don't pay too much attention to what they really studied at the university, except of course for some of the specific roles like actuaries, they have to have the actuarial background. Some may have the risk management background and legal background. Apart from that, we actually hire graduates from a wide range of different disciplines. And curiosity is very important, because our industry has to cover all the different industries, all the different clients that we have to come across every day. We need to have the curiosity to understand what they need and how we can structure some risk transfer programs to help them. So a lot of those are tailor-made for specific industries or specific clients. So I think with curiosity, that can definitely help us to develop some new solutions for our clients, especially when we are providing risk solutions. So for risk solutions, there are emerging risks, all the new risks that were not traditionally insured, but now they can be insured. And in the past, we did not have cyber risk. In the past, we probably did not have terrorism or some of the political risks, but now they can be insured. And how they can be insured, how we can assess the risk so that they can be insured, and how can we help our clients to manage and mitigate their risks. Those would require a lot of skill set, a lot of curiosity and common sense. So I think that seems to be quite normal. A lot of people do have good common sense, but I think it's definitely required in our industry in terms of having good common sense as well as curiosity to develop ongoing and different new solutions for our clients.
So if I may summarize, passion, common sense, and curiosity. And I think those are essential qualities.
Faye, I think you have muted yourself.
Sorry, just trying to recap. So both of you mentioned passion, common sense, and curiosity. And I think those are essential qualities for not only success in insurance, but success in general and for achieving happiness in life.
Faye, I think Sally also mentioned positive mindset, which I fully
Yes.
agree. Yeah, she mentioned about positive mindset, and I think the can-do attitude, problem-solving skills, and also keen on lifelong learning. It's very important for our industry as well as for generally for career development as well.
Yeah. I also want to agree with Winnie on the curiosity, because I also find that colleagues with a lot of curiosity are also more innovative. And we do need innovative ideas to make sure that we can cater for the changing needs of the customers, like any customer, individual, families, or companies. So I agree with all of that. Thank you.
Thank you. Moving on to the next question. We're in a very peculiar time right now, just getting out of the impact of the pandemic. So Winnie, I'm not sure if you will have any advice to our young people who are looking to start their career in insurance at this point, because I think as any other industries, I think insurance is also being impacted by the pandemic itself.
Yeah, I personally think that it's golden opportunity to join our industry right now, given several reasons. One, I think there's unprecedented high awareness of the need for insurance right now because of the pandemic. According to some global surveys, I think 70 to 80% of the people are willing to give up their expenses on going to restaurants, going to gyms, and other entertainment. But only below 20% of the people are willing to give up their costs, their expenses on insurance, because they know how important insurance is, particularly due to the pandemic situation and all sorts of health-related insurance and other, some of the unemployment insurance and all that. So I think they are really aware of the importance of the need for insurance protection right now. And the second reason is, as I mentioned, InsurTech. It makes our industry far more interesting and fun than before because of the online and digital distribution that we have, and also the online models that we have. And we need to hire a lot of InsurTech and computer science, data scientists, UI UX designers and content writers, etc. And those are the probably the job positions that we did not hire that many, but right now we definitely hire a lot more of these people. So it opened up new opportunity for our young graduates. And the third reason is the growth potential of the insurance industry in Asia. For the European as well as the US market, I think the insurance industry is far more developed. Sally mentioned that she thought about the insurance industry in the middle of her career, and I didn't know anything about insurance until I heard an inspiring speaker at Swire to talk about and introduce insurance to me, but I had no idea about insurance when I was in university. But in the US or in Europe, it's a very well-developed market, and basically a lot of university students, they are determined to join the insurance industry. So whenever I met some of the experts from the US, from Europe, they told me they are very determined. When they were young, they were very determined to join the insurance industry because it's a very mature, very developed industry with a lot of professionals working in the ecosystem, as well as having a lot of career progression opportunities. I think in Asia, we are still at the developing stage. People some of the developing markets are getting wealthier. When they reach a certain point of wealth, they will become more aware of the importance of insurance protection. So now we are still at the developing stage in terms of general public's awareness of insurance protection. Sally mentioned about the penetration rate. Of course, yes, we are third in the world in terms of insurance penetration, and we are number 2 in terms of the total insurance premium per capita. But then a lot of the time we are helped by the mainland Chinese insurers mainland Chinese clients coming to Hong Kong to buy their life insurance protection. So in Asia as a whole, I think there are still a lot of potential to growth in the insurance sector. So because of all these three reasons, pandemic, InsurTech development, as well as the growth potential, I think there's really a great time for young graduates to join our industry right now.
Yeah, so where there is a crisis, there's opportunities. So Sally, would you like to add on what Winnie has said, or in general, do you have any advice for our young students as to how to navigate uncertainties throughout their career? Because we know for sure there are going to be uncertainties in the future.
Yeah, I went through quite a fair bit of uncertainty myself during my 30 years. And I went through a major financial crisis. I was with AIG, so you can imagine 2008, there was complete drop in share price. And then we have to regroup and do something different. And even before that, there's different things because I live in Japan, I live in different area before. So obviously you will go through that. And every time I think back, the number one things that we have to do is to have a very positive mindset, because without that, it is very difficult to go through any difficult times, because everything is in your mind and nobody can change that. And just believe that you can go through it. It's very important. And also, I think in your career, you probably will have different changes in your career, and people will offer you different things. I think every time I would say is be open-minded and look at it in objective, talk to a few people and maybe do some research, and just don't think about it's always up. Sometimes it can be sideways and you go up again. Sometimes it can go back and then you go up again. So things are always changing. As long as you have a very positive mindset and be resilient, we can go through any difficulties, I believe.
Yeah, I would say think in a longer term.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Yeah, thank you, Sally and Winnie, very much for the questions. I'm seeing questions popping up in the Q&A box already, so let's move on to some of the audience questions. I see one about Yi Ding is asking if there is an insurance institute in Hong Kong that promotes the practical skill training in insurance, like what the Institute of Bankers does for banking. Would Winnie maybe want to address this question?
Yeah, for insurance institutions, I understand that for the Lingnan University, they have an undergraduate program for insurance studies, insurance and financial studies. So every year they probably have, not a lot, probably about 40 or so graduates every year. It's not many. So it's definitely not enough in terms of the demand, in meeting the demand of our industry. And that's why I think since last year, at the Hang Seng University, they offered a executive program, master's program on insurance, insurance executive management, something like that. So that's a master's program, and it can be done on a part-time basis. I understand a lot of existing insurance practitioners are also interested in that master's program. So a lot of those may not have any insurance background in the first degree, and then that's why they are interested in studying that master's program. Yeah, so that's what I am aware of, but I'm sure for other universities in their BBA programs, business program or marketing programs, they may have a subject on insurance, but that's not a full degree on insurance. And that's why in the past years, we've been trying to promote it to various universities in Hong Kong, trying to add more degrees and insurance studies. So some of them are thinking about it, and that's why the Hang Seng University program, master's program, came up last year. Yeah.
Sally?
Yeah, I think it's pretty much that. We also sent 2 colleagues to the Master of Insurance for the Hang Seng University. I think it's is a very practical management. It's not so much an insurance. You can be any discipline. The one we send is marketing and product development. So customer service is also one of the colleagues that we send. So
thank you. There's a question from Sherry Chen. So I heard that some fresh graduates might not be able to be an actuary or secure a permanent position upon graduation. What's your views on that? And how do you see the demand for actuaries in the future 10, 30, 50 years?
I go first, Faye.
Sure.
I think the actuaries demand will continue to be there. Probably, you know, in the new digital world, the actuaries in the past, they're maintaining a big model, they may have assets or big Excels. We still have those. But I think in the future, 10, 30, 50 years, the role may be changed a little bit to do a little bit more analysis, because a lot of the data can be done by computers, as all of us knows. But the actuaries demand is still going to be there. I think Winnie would agree with me. We are always looking for actuaries to do things. And especially we are the regulated industry, right? There are some new regulation coming in. For example, the new risk-based capital, the IFRS 17. Those are the things that we do need actuaries to come in, and accountant even, to make sure that we can change from the existing regime to the new regime. So it's coming in the next few years. So the demand is there. So if whether you're graduates or whether you have experience, you always find jobs, I think, in this area.
Yeah, I fully agree with what Sally just mentioned. There's ongoing demand and changing needs in terms of actuarial support. And some of our actuaries are learning new skills on data and analytics as well. So that's new opportunities to actuaries as well. In Hong Kong, there's an actuarial ASHK, the Actuarial Society Hong Kong. I sit on their advisory board, and I think they are doing a lot of promotion, a lot of training for their members, a lot of development opportunities as well. And I think very soon they will organize an Asia conference. So it shows that there is a huge demand for quality actuaries, not just in Hong Kong, but also across the region. Of course, due to the key reasons, as what Sally just mentioned, in terms of the risk-based capital regime, and as well as IFRS 17, the accounting standard changes, and also the ongoing demand for different kind of actuaries on reserving, on pricing, on valuation, etc. So basically, the demand is huge in the not just in Hong Kong, in the world, basically, because these changes in accounting standard are not just for Hong Kong; it's a global change. So that's why, you know, I don't think it will in the foreseeable future there will be a saturation situation, especially when we need our colleagues with actuarial background to learn some new skills to support our data analytics as well. So yeah, I think it's still very positive in terms of the actuarial studies graduates.
Very good to hear.
Yeah.
So there's a question about how many insurance companies there are headquartered in Hong Kong. I'm not sure if you would have the number at hand, but I would like to follow up with, do you have an estimation of the available job opportunities out there in insurance at this point, or maybe for your own companies?
I think there are quite some insurance companies headquartered in Hong Kong. For us, we are headquartered in Hong Kong under our listing entity that is listed in Hong Kong. And of course, apart from local groups like us, there are also some mainland Chinese insurance companies and some other life insurance companies that are headquartered in Hong Kong. So there are quite a number of large groups that are headquartered in Hong Kong, offering job opportunities. But even if they are not headquartered in Hong Kong, they have subsidiaries or branches in Hong Kong. And Sally just mentioned, we are actually most crowded insurance market in Hong Kong, with over 162 or 163 insurance companies in Hong Kong right now. And a lot of them are actively doing business. So for such a small city, actually, we are really very crowded on insurance. But of course, some insurance companies may offer some niche services and products, while others may offer more wide range, comprehensive products. So they all have different strategies, different positioning. Some are life, some are non-life insurance companies, and some are reinsurance companies. So they all have slightly different roles. But together, I think that we offer very good job opportunities for our young graduates.
Yeah, I agree. I think other than Winnie's group is headquarters in Hong Kong, one of the big one that you may know is AI Group, because they are listed in Hong Kong as well. Even if like us, we are not headquarters in Hong Kong because we are French group companies, but we also offer quite a fair bit of position in Hong Kong for graduates.
Yeah, a lot of insurers, whether headquartered in Hong Kong or not, are looking to hire more.
Yeah.
Okay, so as we draw close to the end, I want to ask if Winnie and Sally have some closing remarks to leave for our audience before we close the session. Maybe just one or two lines.
Sally, you want?
It can be career advice, life advice.
Okay, thank you. I go first, Faye. Thank you. I would like to close with, again, I hope that every one of you will consider joining the insurance industry and to do a little bit of a research on it so that you know a bit more of the offering. And for personally, I hope all of you will keep a very positive mindset, even though sometimes you're in the difficult times, and having a positive mindset will influence not only that you will feel better, and I think you can also influence others people in the society. So I think hopefully we can all be very positive and see further to the brighter futures in the long term.
Thank you, Sally.
Yeah, and I hope after listening to us, insurance is no longer a well-kept secret and misunderstood industry to you. I hope you can understand that there are actually a lot of job opportunities offered to young graduates and young talents who may want to shift from other industries to insurance, because our industries offer a wide range of opportunities as well as training opportunities. We train up a lot of young graduates through our various companies' training programs. So I think that should be very good news to our young graduates. If they understand our industry, actually, our retention rate is pretty high in terms of young graduates who join our industry and stay with our industry. Normally, once they understand more about industry, they would prefer to stay, given the prospects and the training opportunities that they have with us. And in the past years, we actually managed to hire a lot more young graduates. So I think that's something definitely good to know, good for you all to know and understand more. And feel free to reach out to us if you want to understand more.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Winnie and Sally, for taking the time today and for demystifying the insurance industry for us. And that will be today's webinar. And for the audience, please, can I take 1 minute of your time to do a polling for us? It's really important that you share your feedback to us so that we can improve our webinars and other talent amplify programs in the future. Thank you very much. And please stay tuned to the FSDC's upcoming webinars. A big thank you to Winnie and Sally again. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Faye.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Thank you.